So looks like audio didn't record particularly well during this workout. So today I was pressed for time because I had some stuff going on, as a result of which I didn't have so usually I work out for 2 hours, but today I only had about an hour and 15 minutes, more like 80 minutes. So that's like an hour and 20 minutes to work out. So I decided to do a workout in which I'm moving rapidly throughout and using my steel mace and kettlebell to get my heart rate going, and do movements just to burn calories. So starting off with 10 steel mace 360s on each hand with the 25-pound kettlebell, and then moving into 10 alternate kettlebell swings. Steel Mace 360s are like the most basic, or like the base movement that uh, everyone uses the steel mace for, and then kettlebell swings also is the base movement, or the most common movement that the kettlebell is used for. Supersetting both of these back to back essentially involves pretty much every muscle group in the body, and I'm also taking minimal to no rest in between sets, so that I can keep my heart rate high throughout the duration of the workout. Um, by taking minimal rest and by doing movements that recruit every muscle group in the body, it gets your heart rate going, and especially a 25-pound steel mace doing 360s with it is quite muscularly taxing. And yeah, my goal pretty much was to get resistance training in, but not like muscular focus, just speed focused, and reducing rest periods, um, to maximize uh, the exertion feel, to maximize the cardio feel, and burn as many calories as possible. Um, yeah, throughout the workout, I felt um kind of flat, in the sense that um I didn't really eat too much yesterday. Just got pretty busy, and then I was pretty busy this morning too. So it did feel like I had to push a little harder, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, for the second exercise, or the second set of exercises, I did a kettlebell complex. So starting off with a high pull, then a clean, then a snatch, and then an overhead squat with the kettlebell. And I'm going to repeat this sequence twice. Not twice. Was it 4 times? I think I did 4 times on each side, maybe five. Not sure. In any case, kind of going back to the thing that I was mentioning earlier, where one of the strategies to uh, get your body getting that exertion feeling and to burn as many calories as possible, is to do movements or sets of movements that require the whole body to stay active, or every muscle group to kind of get recruited. So in this case, with the high pull and the clean and the snatch, there's a lot of shoulders and back involved. And then with the overhead squat, it's a quad dominant movement. Also, while doing the squat, I'm making sure that I stay on my toes, so that my toe muscles get engaged, and I'm able to take the quads through a full stretch. With uh, the flip, so if you guys notice, to switch sides, I'm doing a flip. Um, if you don't want to flip it, you can just do a regular alternate kettlebell swing to change sides. But with but since I like juggling, I like adding a flip to it. And there's something about adding a flip that kind of makes the movement more flowy, in my opinion. In any case, I supersetted that with a steel mace 360 to a front swing. Did 5 reps on each side using the 25-pound kettlebell. Um, uh, During this, I did a couple of sets with the 15-pound steel mace as well. I didn't do all of them with the 25-pound. Um, just kind of gauged how exhausted I was feeling and how my muscles felt in order to decide what weight I was going to use. Um, but yeah, just kind of went rapidly back and forth between sets so that I could keep my heart rate high and the whole body engaged. Um, yeah, so I thought my microphone was recording while I was doing this, which is why you see me talking to the camera in the middle, but turns out the microphone I used was having some issues. In any case, you guys can probably notice that I'm moving really rapidly between sets, taking barely any time. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of, the reason for recording multiple sets was to give an idea of the pace that I was moving between, like how little rest I was taking between exercises uh, in order to keep my heart rate going. Um, yeah. Uh, Random thought was so if you guys have been following along, I've been doing jiu-jitsu on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and usually I'm really sore and tired the day after. But it feels like I've adapted at least a little. Like, I didn't feel like, even though I felt kind of flat, uh, I didn't feel like as sore as I did last week. So, you know, um, maybe my body has adapted to a certain degree to that sort of stimulus. And yeah, hopefully it stays this way to where I don't feel like that much physical soreness um, on days after jiu-jitsu. So for the next exercise, it was a pretty long one. So I started off with 360s with the steel mace, then moved into 3 stiff leg deadlifts. So I'm using the 25-pound steel mace, and with the way the weight's distributed on the mace, there is an offset load. Then I moved into 3 rows with the steel mace, and what I was indicating in the video there was that I had to hold on to one side so that it would so that the head of the mace would follow uh, like the right like it has to tilt a certain way in order to feel it properly in the back. So that was what I was indicating in the video, is that I had to hold one side for that to happen. Yeah, so after the rows, I do 3 curls um, and then move into 3 shoulder presses. I repeat that pattern 3 times on each side, which ends up becoming 9 reps of each movement. And also, there's no rest in between. And since all of the muscle groups are involved, it becomes quite a bit taxing. So, with the stiff leg deadlifts, it's hamstrings. With the rows, it's biceps and back. With the curls, it's biceps, and then with the shoulder presses, it's shoulders. Then with the 360s, it's a bit of lats, serratus, shoulders, abs, and actually the abs are involved throughout the entire duration of the exercise, just because the act of swinging the mace around requires the obliques and abs to stay active throughout the entire duration of the movement. Um, yeah, and I found, at least for me personally, uh, combining movements like this seems to help with, uh, just getting my heart rate up. So I don't know if, even if you don't have a steel mace, if you did something like push-ups, pull-ups, and then some squats, your heart rate would get super high because it's so first off, it's chest, back are huge muscle groups, and then the legs. So it's your 3 major muscle groups are all requiring blood at the same time. So what I'm trying to do with all these complexes and circuits in this is to get every muscle group working, which forces blood to be required in all those areas, which then forces the heart rate to go up. One of the most taxing movements for most people is burpees, which follows a similar concept where you're when you jump down and do a push-up, it's the chest and the legs, then you're jumping up and lifting your hands up, which is like shoulders and back. And so when you do a bunch of reps of those, it ends up raising your heart rate. For the second movement in the circuit, I did single arm 360s with the 15-pound mace. Did that for 10 each side. Um, so like, just trying to do some unilateral work. Trying to focus on into like one shoulder at a time. Trying to experience the tightness and differences between shoulders, and I feel like doing this movement kind of helps even things out. Then finally moving into more single arm work with the 7-pound mace, doing single arm 360 to a front drop or swing. Yeah, doing 10 reps just to squeeze out a little bit more out of the shoulders and back, and just with the steel mace movement. This was my second set, and I ended up doing 3 of those. Um, After this, I moved into some kettlebell juggling. Um, Pretty much because kettlebell juggling is pretty cardiovascularly intensive, and my goal today was, well, I do juggling every day, not every day, quite often, just regardless. But like the main goal today was to just burn a lot of calories. So instead of trying to figure out more circuits and stuff, I decided to move straight into juggling. In any case, it was a pretty good juggling session, focused a lot on triples. Don't really have much to say at this point. I'm just going to put some background music and then uh, just have juggling play to that. Or have you guys watch it to some background music.